The hottest pop culture stories of the day, like Alex Earl kind of responded, but actually Alex Cooper responded. Plus, Brianna Chicken Fry is in the mix, and now she's responded. This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
And this is the problem when you have a war with people that are chronically online. Within the last 3 hours of us starting this show, we have more added every second. And again, nothing. Nothing has changed. We have an Alex on Alex fight. Alex Cooper, she has this big podcast network, took on this podcaster, Alex Earl. Didn't work out. We don't know why. Alex Earl's kind of always poked at her, being like, she was awful to work for, but never said it, kind of liked and...
I wish I could say something.
Yeah, hinted that she had this NDA. Well, Alex Cooper was sick of it one day. Just a couple days ago, went online and said, Alex Earl, you don't got an NDA. I'm sick of whatever this is. Come for me. Tell me the thing that was so awful.
Yes.
We've had Alex Earl write, okay, got it, in the comments, but she doesn't have it because she's really given us nothing since. Well, now Dave Portnoy added to this, which, can we just not with him?
Barstool Sports, yes.
Somebody needs to get some moisturizer on him. He's just sitting in the sun peeling. And he added Brianna Chicken Fry never liked Alex Cooper. Well, Alex Cooper read that and said, bet.
He actually even posted screenshots of Brianna Chicken Fry saying, you can post this. Alex Cooper is going down. She's a mean girl. So, he said, okay, cool. I'm going to post it. I'm going to stir this up. I'm going to stir it up. Okay, shall we start with Alex Earl first?
Sure.
Because she did post a video this morning that said, this is how I woke up from my last day of Coachella, in case you're wondering. And it's a video of her friends walking into her room, waking her up and going, you have to look at this video. She watches the aforementioned Alex Cooper video. And at the end of it goes, wow. Okay, this just totally made my day. Nothing else.
And keep in mind, she saw that they were filming. Looked hungover as all hell. Looked like it was probably 3 PM.
We're not judging.
No, we're not judging, but I just want to set the stage.
Tone. Yeah.
That maybe that wouldn't be her natural response had not all that aligned or happened.
And that's all she's done. So she still, 2 days, 3 days later, has still not said what it is she wants to say because she's on it. Now, Alex Cooper, I go on her story during one of the breaks because the story just keeps giving. And she has posted, all right, well, Alex Earl decides what she's going to say, comes up with an excuse. Brianna Chicken Fry, let's address you because I've never met you in my life. I've never said a bad word about you. In fact, all we've ever done is DM. Here they all are. Puts all the screenshots out of all their DMs, which are just dumb. They're like nothing.
They're very we don't know each other well, generic. Hey, I wish you luck. I wish you, yeah, it's fine.
Well, sorry what happened with you and your ex. Da, 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 da. And at the end of it goes, here's the deal. I get that when you broke your podcast up with your former BFF, Grace O'Malley, I offered Grace a job. I never spoke ill of you. I never said anything. And all of a sudden, I'm this mean girl? Wow. Okay, whatever. Then Brittany went on Brianna Chicken Fry's social media.
Because I went to a place of, listen, I've seen this girl respond to everything. Brianna Chicken Fry has time. Sure does. She had a 1-minute video up about her going hey, it's true. I don't like you. And guess what? I was a big fan of you at one point. And Dave Portnoy was really excited to introduce me. Kind of hinted that they, she didn't say we had met, but you kind of felt like because she couldn't, because maybe they legally haven't, but via email or something. And then says, I sat next, you can check the receipts. I sat next to Alex Earl at this last Super Bowl, and she told me everything. And I've said it and I made it clear. It's not my story to tell. But Alex Earl needs to come out and tell it because you are a mean girl. And I found out also from Dave that when you said, I don't care about Brianna and I don't care about Grace, I care about making money. That's why I gave Grace a podcast. And I went, yeah, that's usually how business owners, especially in this media, I promise you Dave Portnoy doesn't make things the way they do because he's altruistic. I don't think that's I don't know if she's supposed to apologize for that. I'm so many things are like an experiment here where I'm going, why does anybody even care if Alex Cooper is a harsh businesswoman? Like, why do these other women
like it?
Right? I would like her to make decisions that are financially smart.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few successful people, including Dave Portnoy, who has gotten to the level of Alex Cooper and not stepped on some people on the way or maybe had some rough interactions along the way. That's just how business works. And I love that Brianna Chicken Fry's whole opinion on the matter is based on what Alex Earl said to her while they were sitting next to each other. Obviously, everyone's going to have their own stories and their own interpretation of what happened. So, again, I'm not taking one side or the other. I just know, if there's one person, much like the Alexes, who know how to turn this into a little bit of business or a little bit of exposure and clicks, it's definitely Brianna Chicken Fry. And that's what she's doing.
Mike, you're so correct in the way where it's like, I actually think Brianna Chicken Fry did a disservice to Alex Earl because I bet you there were drinks. They were hanging out. And when you tell a story, you get to say it from your point of view and sometimes maybe embellish. But Alex Earl, when she comes, she has to come very accurately. She can't say, like, I felt this way or this or that. Like, it's going to have to be, this is what you did to me. And she may have told Brianna Chicken Fry, somebody who she's like, you're my confidant, maybe like things that weren't exactly true. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. And the fact that Brianna Chicken Fry went to a place of victim, too. She was like, you releasing our DMs feels very much like when Zach Bryan, who she's very much labeled an abusive ex-boyfriend, threw out all of my texts to him, our private text exchanges. Girl, you inserted yourself into this argument. Literally, no one asked you your opinion.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you what you thought. You had a conversation with your boss and then told him, you can print what I'm saying, and inserted yourself. So don't act like you're a victim when someone brings receipts and is like, I don't know you, you don't know me. Bye. The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, yes, I am Team Alex Cooper because Alex Earl ain't saying anything, and all these little rugrats who want to be a part of the conversation just keep looking like fools at the end of the day.
I say go on her podcast. Go on Call Her Daddy.
Just do it.
You guys can split the profits.
Please.
It'd be so good. Okay, we actually have some resolution on another drama that's been happening. Taylor Frankie Paul. If you know, The Bachelorette has been canceled. That's been for a little while now, because of a video that came out from a 2023 domestic assault that happened with Taylor Frankie Paul and Dakota Mortensen. This video is awful. Do not watch it. They are in a very physical fight, Dakota and Taylor. At some point, Taylor throws a stool at Dakota and her child is hit by the stool. It's awful. So it's not that crazy, even though that all these facts were out in the public. When this video dropped, ABC said, we can't do
air
The
this.
Bachelorette. We can't air The Bachelorette, even though it's all been filmed, even though it's a little bit suspicious of the timing of this video. Well, there was a domestic that happened in February, and there was conversations around maybe ABC knows something as well, because this is now a new domestic. We have the 2023 domestic, and then there was one in February with these same two people, Taylor and Dakota. Well, after this court case, it's been clear that all the allegations, all the charges will be dropped. Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office cited a lack of sufficient evidence and noting that some allegations lacked specificity or fell outside the statute of limitations. Now, this is really important for Taylor Frankie Paul because even though, obviously nobody wants to deal with the domestic, she's been in 3-year probation for the 2023 assault. This could have been a huge parole violation, a.k.a. prison time, a.k.a. your kiddo is taken from you.
Oof.
Wow.
Now,
wow.
As we know, there was the custody of their 2-year-old son. Dakota Mortensen had emergency custody where I think Taylor could see him for 4 hours a week. It was
supervised or something?
Yeah, supervised visits. They're going to have another hearing that's scheduled for later this month to talk about that emergency custody that was over their 2-year-old. So if this was the thing that ABC was going, we got to wait till this goes down. It's happened.
It's happened, and we've been really clear. They've never said canceled. They've never used those words. They've always said withheld, pulling, delaying, postponing. Like, they've used very specific terminology about this show. Other people have reported that it's canceled. They've never said that.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, Brittany. They've been waiting for this to kind of pull out of the zeitgeist to see if actual charges would come through, because they knew what happened in 2023 and they were still willing to put all their chips on the table on this girl because they thought it could bring viewership, which she probably could. I don't think they're going to put it on ABC, but I think that you were onto something when you thought, what if they dropped it on Hulu?
Put it all on Hulu. I mean, the footage is there. The thing is, this solves a lot of problems because there could be lawsuits coming from not only the contestants, but Taylor Frankie Paul, because in the reality of it is they knew these things prior. So this would resolve a lot of those things that they're dealing with, maybe gain a little bit of the sponsorship, some of those back, financial money, money. And also, there's going to be a lot of people watching this. I mean, I don't even have an opinion on it. I'm not a big Bachelor fan, and I'm not going to be somebody who runs to the Bachelorette in general. But I do know that there will be a lot of people that watch this.
And the only thing I'll say, just to play devil's advocate in this situation, is if the entirety of, okay, we're going to bring in this new bunch of set of eyeballs because we want more viewership. You're basically taking all the credibility the Bachelorette ever had. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it's kind of a joke at this point, but Kendall, you were somebody who, with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, there was a little prestige to it. It was Sunday night, ABC. This has we know, but this isn't like Love Island, and this isn't those other love shows. This one had a little bit more esteem to it.
Yes.
You're basically just completely throwing that out now if you're going to air this on Hulu.
But again, Mike, that being said, hiring her was kind of a last-ditch effort because they've been complaining about the ratings going down.
Prior to the video coming out, though. So now that the video is out and now they knew about it, yes, don't get me wrong. Clearly we didn't.
Yeah.
Clearly we didn't take the time to read it because once the video came out, it was such a backlash that they instantly were like, hey, we got to pull this season, or at least, put it on pause.
I will say, to your point, public opinion hasn't changed.
No,
even though that they're saying, and especially because I'm telling you, if somebody kind of read through some of this stuff, a lot of the reasons they couldn't charge her is because he did things awful as well.
Yeah.
There was a point where he smashed her head against the dashboard of the truck. There are texts where he's demanding sex from her. And, at this point, they're broken up. I mean, there's a lot on both their sides of the street.
Yeah.
And so, literally, the judge is like, that's why I can't charge you because these have happened on both sides.
We'll see how it plays out. Problematic. Well, American Eagle's like, we can make money with problematic. Let me tell you.
American Eagle, they'll still buy our jeans.
That's right. Sydney Sweeney's back with American Eagle. Now it's time for shorts. Sid for short. American Eagle jean shorts. What brand am I wearing? Yeah, that one, says Sydney Sweeney cheekily while wearing little Daisy Dukes and looking incredibly hot in them.
I will say these photos are awful.
You gotta watch the video. She looks like Sydney Sweeney.
I know, but can we acknowledge that these, the oversized white t-shirt, they're weirdly dated, these photos already.
Well, they're putting them out there because according to the chief marketing officer at American Eagle, the actress's campaign back when she did the jeans with the Genes, and Sydney Sweeney has good genetics jeans, that was their most successful to date, and it reported $1.28 billion in revenue for just that quarter that those ads were released. They say, listen, she's a winner. We're going to put those bets on her. We're going to continue to celebrate how everyone, they're very specific about this, how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone.
They're like, and we don't believe in white supremacy.
To be clear.
It's just so wild because they have to lead into that. That American Eagle has to go to a place of, hey, it's for everybody. Sorry about that weird thing we did.
But also, we sold out of everything and we made so much money. So, here we go again. They're also really leaning into something. So, there's a piece called Sid Jean and Sid Short that are these special jeans with butterfly details on them to honor domestic violence survivors. those jeans, 100% of the proceeds are going to benefit the Crisis Text Line, the nonprofit group that has the 24/7 mental health support. They are leaning heavily into this time. So these PR reps, no matter how successful the last campaign was, they do see that this might be a little too controversial for us. So, like, just don't forget, we also support nonprofits. And so does Sydney Sweeney.
Am I crazy? Those butterfly jeans are hideous.
They're fugly.
Isn't that?
Yes.
But I go, do we even know? Because you know when you get a little too old where I go,
yeah, I think I'm just out.
Like, maybe my 21-year-old nanny would love those.
Remember, what was that store that we limited to?
No.
They look like they belong at limited to.
Yeah, they look like they belong at limited to.
That's the vibe that maybe that's why we're like,
No thanks. We're too old for these.
No, can't do that.
The jeans are fine. It's also like, yes, I believe that it wasn't even Sydney Sweeney's fault when they did this weird ad campaign.
Right.
And of course you go, yeah, well, we have a contract with her, so we should use her.
And she sold $1.28 billion worth of revenue in a quarter.
Those jeans were seen everywhere because of your
Everywhere.
awful marketing. So maybe there's something to that. I do have to note, I know we're going to talk about Euphoria tomorrow because I
Yeah.
watched it on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Awful.
Really?
Yes, we're in the final season of Euphoria. Every way it can possibly be awful, it's awful. And yes, I will watch Sunday nights.
I did hear it seems like Jacob Elordi's character got like a lobotomy.
For realsies. This is not this. I wouldn't be shocked if they win. This is actually his twin brother.
This is his evil twin.
None of the characters align with anything that's remotely could happen.
Oh, fascinating.
Oh.
It's hot to blow.
At this point in Hot to Go, we head on over to Mike Ganger, our producer, but also blind item expert. What secret on the internet might be the next to blow?
Well, this might be the worst kept secret of weekend 2 at Coachella. I can't wait to see the reaction of the two of you when you hear this news, because I don't think you guys have seen this. And I know the reaction of when you heard the story that came out for one of these people today. Madonna just announced that her next album, The Confessions on a Dance Floor, Part 2, which, by the way, Part 1 was in 2005, is going to be debuting on July 3rd. Do you remember? Like 3 weeks ago, we told you that there was a secret music video being shot involving Madonna and Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we thought that it was going to come on the new album for Sabrina Carpenter, or on the deluxe album of Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes.
No. That's the single off of Madonna's new album, and those two are performing at Coachella on Friday night. That
Wait,
is like
what?
the worst kept secret. This is a belief that, again, hot to blow, we don't necessarily say this is all confirmed. This is not confirmed, but this is the belief that Coachella is going to have exactly 20 years, by the way, exactly 20 years since her last performance at Coachella. Madonna is going to come out and perform her lead single off this album, which is definitely going to be like a house track, and it's going to be featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
To be clear, the amount of people and efforts and things that have to happen to make this work is why this could never be kept a secret, especially with people that aren't signing NDAs. You think the stage guy or the lighting guy or, I don't know, the freaking like sound guy, he's going to go
Catering?
I'll sign an NDA? Also, it's not like this is like near a city, so they can't sneak them in and out.
Yeah.
Like, Mike, you're right. This is probably everybody knows the worst kept secret.
It is. Everyone's kind of been talking about it. Dumois has been running with the story for a couple of weeks, and again, it was like 2 weeks ago, though, like a month ago, probably, when we saw there was people saying, "Oh, we saw Madonna and Sabrina Carpenter go into this room, and then you could see all this light flashing. They were doing some sort of a music video." Well, it's believed that might actually it wasn't incorrect, just wasn't right yet.
I don't know how I feel about this whole Confessions on a Dance Floor Part 2, since Part 1 was 21 years ago, but I do feel good about this duet. But, like, why are we calling it this? Why are we calling it this? Why not just be a new album, Madonna?
Because she wants us to forget everything she's done since then?
Yeah.
I will never forget the girls. I can't.
Well, sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, she'll probably still be leaning into that. There's something about Madonna. Oh, it's brutal. But
Just say it.
I'm glad she's teaming up with Sabrina Carpenter. I think that's a cool combo.
Mm-hmm.
I do sometimes worry where she's relying a little heavily on other people some. But at the same time, I'm excited for you, Madonna. I hope it's an amazing album.
He'll hope it comes out on July 3rd.
Hope that happens.
Wait, will Madonna be late, though? Because she's notoriously hours late for her concerts. How do you do that at Coachella? Like, because, like, you can't threaten Madonna. She just won't show up. She doesn't care.
That's a really good point. Then Sabrina Carpenter has to go out by herself. Like,
there's got to be a backup plan.
I think Madonna's figuring out in the last couple of years now she maybe can't threaten people as much as they think she can.
That's a really good point.
Sabrina Carpenter's going to bring you a lot of people.
And so wait, is Sabrina Carpenter's doing a set this coming weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it'll just be it'll just be then Madonna entering and them doing this song.
Exactly.
This is a very big win and a very easy win for Madonna.
Cannot wait to watch all the videos of the Coachella people sweating, waiting for Madonna to come out and going, I was 2 hours later than I thought it was going to be.
There's something about Coachella, which is like there's the influencers.
Yep.
Where you watch them sit in like these amazing tents, this glamping. And then there's the everyday people, which would, like, if we went, that's what we would experience. Yeah. Looks awful.
Looks awful.
Awful. One girl.
Looks so thirsty.
One girl was like violently ill because it was like so hot. And then like a spider hatched a bunch of eggs in her only fan she had in her tent. So she couldn't even use it because there was all these like baby spiders everywhere. And she got like sick from some food. And I went, yes, please. This makes me not feel like I've missed out on anything because that Sabrina Carpenter set last week was amazing. I would not have done that for that.
No. Coachella is real.
Coachella would be us.
It's us.
Baby spiders?
Baby spiders?
Not on your life. It's a hot mess.
I have a hard time calling this messy because but it is though at first sight. And then you back up and you look at it again. Stick with me. Guy Fieri, you know him, the famous chef with the spiky crazy hair, okay? He got in a little bit of trouble because he was seen hanging out with very controversial influencers, Andrew and Tristan Tate, at a UFC event. If you don't know who these guys are, they were like wanted for a while and living in Europe and not coming home to the US because they have extremely problematic views about women and masculinity. So when this very famous, everybody loves him celebrity chef is seen like, hey, quick, like high five, bro hug thing hits the internet, people go, I'm sorry, you want to be associated with those guys?
Not the mayor of Flavortown.
The mayor of Flavortown. He went out on his social media and said, hey, I'm seeing all of your comments about the photos from Saturday's UFC event. And all I can say is that I'm devastated. I was there to see the fights. When I was walking through the venue, the Tate brothers stood up and said hello. That's when the exchange happened. I did not know them or about them before that moment, which you could kind of see because it's like he's super famous. So he probably was like, maybe I worked with them once. And like, I'll never pretend to be a perfect person, but let me be crystal clear. I do not know the Tate brothers, nor do I support them in any way. Now, I bring this up, one, because it went viral, and I think Guy deserves to be able to be like, hey, I didn't know. What would you guys do in a similar situation where you're like, I don't really know who that is. Who is that? But like you hug, and then you sit down and you go, who was that?
That happens all the time on a very like non-famous level.
Right.
I would do the same thing. Well, Spiky Fiera did. Like, that's what I would have done.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Andrew Tate is somebody that, again, you either really know Andrew Tate and know everything about Andrew Tate, or you don't know anything about Andrew Tate because he's not in your algorithm at all. And it's just like, I wouldn't know who this person was.
I only know his name.
And it's a UFC fight. He's like a big bald dude. I'm like, I don't know. Were you a fighter? He seems like a big guy. I don't know.
And Mike, how many people were at this event that probably looked just like that man?
Yeah.
It's true.
Like, it's a style. It's a demo.
He's 6'3", over 200 pounds. He's a kickboxer. Like, I would just assumed he's one of the fighters or something. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely the vibe Guy Fieri gave off. Because, again, this man was wanted and was living in Europe hiding because of sex trafficking charges. Like, bad guy. And continues to spout these terrible things about women. Guys, like, I mean, can you imagine you wake up and you go, oh my, I had no idea. I hope people believe me that I had no idea.
I would kill my publicist or assistant. You sat me next to who? You didn't do the get freaking Taylor Swift's, get her assistant to, what's her name?
Tree Payne.
Yeah, get Tree Payne's intern to start handling my affairs because the bare minimum is they would never put Taylor Swift or any big celebrity next to a problematic person because next thing you know, you're cheering and you high-five someone next to you. That picture's taken your best friends.
Oh, just like this. He said, and you can see it in the photo. Like, it seems like it's a very brief interaction, but because it's a photo, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Like, he's just walking by and these people stand up and say hi to him because he's Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's not really a mess, but he looked like a mess for a minute.
Guy Fieri, why is your face so red like your coat? You should not be smoking a cigar. That cannot.
It's not healthy for you.
I'm concerned for your health.
It's the red coat. It's just bringing out the red in his complexion.
We want to know what you would do. Would you walk around blatantly, not always knowing who you're high-fiving and hugging? Would you have pulled a Guy Fieri and then gone, no, not great? Please write in the comments. Or are you at a place of I don't touch anyone ever because of this? We'd love to know because Hot to Go is on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe.